That's my cue.
Hey bestie, it's Katie Wasserman. I am a mom, an esthetician, the owner of Flagstaff Skincare Med Spa, and Prickly Bear Skincare, a post-hair removal line. I started Beauty Talk Confessions because honestly, I got tired of how fake the beauty industry can feel. The conversations that happen between wax strips, peels, and facials that no one ever talks about publicly, we are gonna go there. So grab your coffee, get comfy, and let's peel back the layers, one confession at a time. Welcome to Beauty Talk Confessions, where the secrets come out and the glow gets real. All right, guys, welcome back to Beauty Talk Confessions. I wanted to dedicate an episode to talking about the ideal version of success in the beauty industry. And I wanted to talk about a few things that after my interview with Arabella, I started thinking about again, and it really just brought up some memories for me. My first version of success and my first marker that I was determined to hit success was hitting six figures. And part of that for me was being a six-figure esthetician. I see this all the time in esthetician groups. I hear it on other podcasts, and it was something that I thrive for. It's something that really lights me up. It's a marker for me that helps me along my process of success. And I really wanted to talk more about this because I feel that in beauty school and when you start working for somebody, there is a lot of misunderstanding and misideas of the success that business owners in the beauty industry have. And I've been guilty of it myself. I've worked for many different people, and I thought at different points in my career that they were pocketing money, that they were not paying us what we were worth. And I realized after working for a business and helping them franchise out and being able to be more on the management side of things that my understanding was completely flawed. There is so much that goes into having an employee. There's so much that goes into owning a business that is not transparent. And I feel like unless you actually do it, you don't understand. And the cost of owning your own business, there is the overhead of products. You have to pay for insurance. You're having to pay for utilities, heat, all of that. And the idea of having your own space and having this beautiful brick and mortar, it can look different for everybody. And you really need to be clear and understand your numbers because success can start as a space like a U-Haul unit. And I absolutely love my conversation with Arabella. I freaking love this girl. She lit me up. I feel like I've known her for my whole life. I feel like we were just best friends. She is just energetic, and I love her vibe. I love her grit, and I love her vibe, and I love her grit, and I love her determination. And I wanted to talk about that because my journey also started in a very interesting way. I opened up my first space, and it was in a business suite building. And you guys, this space was ridiculous. So I had a one-room space. I had a curtain in the middle of it because I felt like I needed a front desk area and a waiting area. Like I was going to have clients wait in this room where you literally had a curtain in the middle of it, and I was waxing on the other side of it. I will say my view from the window was pretty gorgeous. We have an amazing mountain range here in Northern Arizona, and this was a space of mine that I was able to see the mountains, and it's one thing that I do miss because my new space, we don't have that view. And so I had moved to this location. There was a sink in my room, but oh my God, you guys, my water wasn't that hot. So I was making hot towels in the kitchen, bringing it up. It was just ridiculous. And what pushed me out of this one room space is their location at first was open 24 hours. And then there was some weird things going on. Unfortunately, our area, just like everywhere else, there was some vandalism. And so they decided to lock the business building at 5 o'clock. And I was taking clients from 9 in the morning until 7 o'clock some days. And so this was so awkward. Like literally, I had to put up a sign that said, you guys, the building's not closed. We're still open. Just give me a call. I will come down. And I would run down, get a client, lock the door behind them, and take them upstairs. And so it was so hard for me to have freedom of being able to set my schedule, have clients one after another, really pay myself what I needed to grow in this space. However, I had the determination. And so I pushed through. I actually stayed at that space for about 3 months. And then I found another location here in town that I was at for about a year and a half. It was much more comfortable, but still an awkward location. This other location was also in a business building. And I shared this suite with somebody that owned the waiting area. And so I had a waiting area that was in the kitchen at this business space, you guys. And you literally open the back door into where they put a seat for my clients in this waiting area. And people still came. People still were part of the process because I created an experience that was memorable. And I created an experience where people weren't seeing it everywhere else. And it wasn't my space that sold them, it was me. And I laugh about it now because my space that I have now is my pride and joy. I have really invested in creating a beautiful visual space that's calming, not overwhelming, and it's my sanctuary, and I love it. And I love that I don't have a curtain in the middle of my room, and I love that I have a front desk, and I love that it's all mine. And it's okay to start somewhere that's not ideal, and it's okay to start somewhere that works for you, and just trust yourself, you guys. And Arabella did it. Like that girl, she literally was doing lashes out of a U-Haul. But also something that really hit home for me is that girl practiced. She practiced, practice, 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 practice. And I will say one thing that I have seen as a business owner, and I've also been guilty of myself, is really giving yourself the opportunity to be able to succeed and grow in this industry. And to do that, you need to master your skills. You wouldn't go to somebody that literally is charging top dollar for, let's say, a haircut or a tattoo and find out that they just learned that service that day. Like, let's be real. And we talked about it in previous episodes, but it's transparent. It takes 10,000 hours for you to master your skills. And something like lashes that's so detailed and so specific, if that's something that you're interested in this industry, take the time to use your friends, use your models, use your mannequins, and you need to practice because this is going to set you apart from other people in this industry. And right now, this industry, it feels oversaturated. And I think that's why people are talking about feeling the lack of business. And it's because so many people right now are offering beauty services. And there's so many different states that you are able to do beauty services, whether or not you're an esthetician, a cosmetologist, you could be a nurse. I know in my state, you don't even have to go to cosmetology school or esthetician school to be able to do lashes. It's just a certification. And so you really need to set yourself apart and you really need to create the difference to be successful in this beauty industry. So let's talk a little bit more about the physical reality of services. So I want to talk about choosing your services and being conscious of what's going to sell in your demographic and your location. So something that I find, and I feel like I was guilty of it as well. So the beauty school that I went to, it had some amazing opportunities for additional education. And I'm someone that I love additional education and I love having employees work for me and allowing them to see the laser services that we have at my location, also some of the other advanced services, so that if they are thinking about going to these schools and investing in their training and their education, that they will actually want to do this. And I had most recently, so I had this employee most recently, and I love this girl. She is amazing and she just loves education and loves school. But something that we talked about is she went to aesthetic school. During aesthetic school, got her lash extensions certification. Then she decided to go to massage school. And then on top of that, she decided to um, actually go to welding school. And now the girl is doing welding. She's no longer in our industry. And I found that when I started talking to her, it was like, okay, so I know that you are so interested in these advanced courses, but let's start making money in what you've paid for. Let's see if this is what you want to do, because I don't want at the end of the day for you to pay all this money and not be doing this. And that's what happened. And she was an amazing employee, but just really burnt herself out. She took on so much and was so excited for it that it just burnt her out. And I find that right now, the education in our beauty industry, it's expensive. And the advanced courses to add services to your repertoire, to add services to your menu, it's costly. And you have to also be cautious. Right now, there are trainers that aren't even legit trainers. Anybody in our industry can say that they have a program and they will certify you. And so you need to make sure that you look into where this person was trained, how long they've been in the industry, what their course is about, what certification you have, and how that will translate to your location, your state, if it's something that your state will honor. We have seen, and Arabella even talked about it, having a certification like hers and then finding out later on that she needed to go to esthetician school. That sucks. Like, that is the worst thing. And lucky for her, and I'm so proud of her for pushing through and continuing with her vision and getting her certification. But it's hard and it's costly. And I find that on the other end of it, as a business owner, I find that the cost of adding new services to your menu. And for me, I definitely, and I talked with Arabella about it, that shiny object syndrome. And I feel like last year it was like so transparent. Oh my gosh, like all over social media, it was like, get this new machine. This is what you're going to do. These reps were just like calling the business all the time, guaranteeing, getting these clients, do this. You can even trade in your old machine. It's just like, oh my gosh, so much to think about, but also exciting. Like, should I do this? I don't know. Like, and I know for me, I realized that there had been and have been machines that I probably shouldn't have purchased. I have a machine that literally, you guys, we maybe have done 10 services on. Like, it is just not what it's about. And recently I've even seen in a bunch of Facebook groups, what do people feel like their most poor investment has been in their business? And this machine is coming up. And that just says a lot. Like, I just want you to slow down as you are thinking about this career and really utilize the resources that are out there to make sure that the trainings and the services that you are educating yourself on are going to be things that you can legally offer, and know what is necessary to also offer these. I find that some places, when I was in laser school, I was so fortunate. Like, my laser school expressed what was necessary here in the state of Arizona to be able to legally offer laser hair removal, to be able to legally offer these other services. But oh my God, like, okay, for me, I envisioned having my business and doing laser hair removal. I also envisioned doing CO2 laser and doing tattoo removal. And I have literally reps all the time calling me about CO2 lasers and tattoo removal. And here in the state of Arizona, unless you have a doctor that is in-house during the service, you cannot, if you are laser certified, do these services. And that is something that some schools don't tell you. And it's unfortunate. And I don't understand why there is misleading, I don't know, misleading withholding information from people, because all we need to do is have information to be able to make the best decision for ourselves. And that is one of the reasons that I have created this podcast. I am here to provide information that I wasn't aware of for myself. And I'm here to connect with others in our industry that have more information for you guys. And yeah, I really wanted to come and hone in and touch on that because I find that it is so important. And really, it's going to set you apart. So yeah, guys, if you are starting out and you are just in a position where you have an opportunity that might not seem like it is perfect, but it is going to get your foot in the door, definitely I would take up that opportunity and invest in yourself. Invest in the time that you have taken to get to where you are, but also invest in the time of your future and give yourself the opportunity to connect with more people in our industry and make a difference. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. If you have anything you'd like for me to talk about here on Beauty Talk Confessions, please send me a message. And I can't wait to see you guys all next week. Thank you so much for being a part of this space and for listening to today's episode of Beauty Talk Confessions. I wanted to take a moment and recognize our amazing sponsors, Prickly Bear, a desert-curated post-hair removal skincare line with pre- and post-care products created to support healthy skin beyond the treatment room, launching this summer. If this conversation resonated with you, make sure to follow the show and share it with someone in the beauty industry. Staying connected is how we grow, learn, and support each other. You can also follow us on Instagram at Beauty Talk Confessions and Prickly Bear for updates, behind the scenes, and more conversations like this. And if you have a moment, leaving a review helps this podcast reach more people who need this conversation too, and it would mean the world to me. This is Beauty Talk Confessions, and I'll see you next week.